it doesn't matter what we do in this lifetime. There's a lot of pressure on our society in this current moment, and there's a lot of pressure on us, and it's not even our fault. We could point fingers and we could say, oh, it was generational. My family, they put pressure on me, and now it's like almost like a prediction, and it just is. But we have to ask the question, is that if we're putting all this pressure on ourselves in life, like, it doesn't take much to look around and see the truth, which is like, is this pressure healthy? Because like, unless we can say in this moment that like we're super happy with who we are as individuals and we're super grateful, the most important thing is grateful. If we can truly say that like we're grateful for this present moment and that we wouldn't change anything, I wouldn't compromise with anything less. Because the truth is that pressure itself is healthy. But what isn't healthy is ultimately fear and stress and anxiety. Like, these three vibrations, they're not separated from each other. They're coexisting within this lower density of existence. But these vibrations literally are harvesting our life force. And when I refer to life force, I'm talking about our frequency. If you can look at like our energy field as like almost like whatever you want to call it, ecstasy, or those, not necessarily just ecstasy, but almost this unconditional feeling, the happiest feeling we've ever experienced, in that split of a second when it's existing, that's a possibility of consistent connection to our highest energy we could possibly experience. This reality, unfortunately, it's designed to limit this feeling. Otherwise, we would all be feeling, this kind of infinite connection of abundance and happiness and joy and positivity and love. And, what's interesting is that if we're not feeling this all the time, well, then what's taking this away from us? Why are we not feeling this all the time? And some people could be pretty tough and they just say, well, this is just reality. This is just our life. This is just how the world works. But one thing that's really super important and to take time and start to question these things is literally to ask the question, well, what's limiting, what's restricting our natural aura, our natural connection, our natural state of mind, our awareness, our mindset, to not feeling happiness all the time, abundance, joy, and we can all, like, there's psychopaths in this world, absolute psychopaths, real dark, negative energy, but like, even they would have to accept that happiness feels pretty good, love feels pretty good, joy feels pretty good. And like, the truth is that high frequency feels good, and you can get lost in some pretty dark states of mind. And, you can start, like, for example, like the Satanists and like real dark, messed up stuff. Well, they feel pretty good off like dark stuff. But the truth is that everything's a frequency. And like, no matter how messed up people's headspace can be in this reality, I truly believe that everyone has the choice to want to connect to whatever they want to connect to. But I think before it's too late, and it's never too late, I mean, everyone has the power to remember, but the natural feeling of unconditional love, happiness, joy, compassion is basically like, it's ecstasy. It's this infinite blossoming truth that we all have the power to connect to. Now, everyone, and that's where, these kind of the religions and everything they manifest, like they kind of explain like good, evil, heaven, hell. Everyone has the power to choose like what they want to accept in this reality. But 100% what is true within this reality is that it really doesn't matter what energy, what way we go in our lifetime. All that really matters is that we basically learn to start accepting who we are in this moment. Because when we start accepting who we are in this moment, we start to activate, we start to realign with what values in our lives we do have to activate and align to. Because it doesn't matter how, and this is where a lot of these kind of evil kind of people who exist within this world, they get trapped, is they believe that because that's what they've done, and they generally can't accept what they've done. They feel like they're burdened to keep experiencing and doing, because that's how they can't escape it. And we must truthfully learn to accept what we've done to be able to activate and realign to what we have the power to currently. We can't make changes if we can't accept. It's as simple as that. Like, we truthfully cannot make true changes to better our lives if we can't accept what we've done. It doesn't work like that. You can make changes, but if you can't accept what you've done in the past, it will just draw you back. It will just bring you back down. Like, you can maybe poke your head out and try and be a different person, but truthfully, if you can't accept the past, you will never be able to heal your present being. Like, you must literally accept everything for what it is. And I think that's where ultimately I'm going to draw it back in now, so I want to wrap up the video. Basically, that's where people get lost, and that's where people get they put heaps of pressure on themselves in this lifetime, which then manifests into stress, anxiety, fear, is that they can't accept the decisions that they've made in their lifetime. And when they can't accept the decisions that they've made, this path just keeps luring them down into more and more burden. And yeah, I think moral of this story is that once we remember that it doesn't matter what we do in this lifetime, all we've got to do is just be the masters of self-acceptance. We will start to cleanse our aura. We will start to bring about change for ourselves, which can bring new blossoms, new possibilities, because we're bringing in a different awareness, we're bringing in a different mindset, we're bringing in a different sense of life. And when we start to do that, we'll start to heal ourselves from within. We'll start to plant seeds of change, ideas of growth. And then when we do this, we can learn, and we can stay strong and accept our past, not let it scar ourselves. We will see that there's different possibilities in life, and not just this life, for many lives to come.